Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before we dive in, take a moment to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. You won't want to miss what I'm about to reveal. Today, I'm going to pull back the curtain on something most men never understand. Something that can completely change the way she experiences intimacy with you. It's subtle, it's psychological, and if you get it right, it will make her feel you on a level she didn't even know existed. Here's the truth. Most men think intimacy is about what happens in the bedroom. They think it's about technique, timing, or how physically strong or confident they appear. But that's only half the story. Women don't just connect to touch, they connect to presence. And presence is invisible, but it's powerful. It's the way your energy communicates before your lips ever meet, before your hands trace hers. She feels it in the quiet, in the anticipation, in the way you hold yourself in her space. Most men underestimate how much the moments leading up to intimacy matter. Those moments are the gateway to desire, to trust, to making her heart race without even touching her skin. It's in your tone of voice when you speak softly across the room. It's in the way your eyes linger on hers with intention, not lust. It's in your patience, your confidence, your ability to let the moment breathe while maintaining subtle control. Women sense when a man is rushing, when he's anxious, or when he's just going through the motions. That energy kills desire instantly. And here's the kicker. The average man is doing the exact opposite. He's texting too much, over-explaining, trying to impress instead of connecting. He's showing up half-present, and she can feel it. She might smile, she might laugh, but deep down, she's disengaging because the energy isn't there. It's not just about attraction, it's about emotional resonance. When you learn to control that, to amplify it, she'll feel your presence like electricity. So, before any intimacy, there's a hidden preparation that most men ignore entirely. It's not about what you say, it's about how you make her feel with every second she's near you. If you master this, the physical connection becomes deeper, richer, more unforgettable. She won't just remember the act itself, she'll remember you, the energy you brought into that moment, and she'll crave it every time you're near. Here's something most men will never realize. She doesn't just feel your touch, she feels your focus. Every second leading up to intimacy, her mind is scanning for one thing, whether you are truly present. And presence isn't something you can fake. It's not about words, or flexing, or trying to impress her with your stories. It's about energy. It's about the subtle way you breathe, the calm confidence in your movements, the way your eyes track hers without blinking too fast, without giving away impatience. She feels it, and it ignites something primal inside her. Imagine this. You're sitting together, maybe watching a movie, or maybe just sharing a quiet moment. The room is ordinary, but your energy is not. You're grounded. You're aware of her presence without overthinking it. You're not trying to force a reaction. You're simply existing with her, fully tuned in. She notices. She feels a pull she can't explain, a tension building in her body that doesn't need words. That tension? That's desire. That's the precursor to intimacy. And the wild part? Most men rush past it entirely. They see her smile, think they're good to go, and they miss the build-up. The invisible connection that turns a simple touch into something unforgettable. Here's the psychological trick most men ignore. Anticipation amplifies desire. The brain craves the unknown, the subtle, the restrained. Every second you are patient, every glance that lingers, every pause before a move, heightens her emotional and physiological response. Your restraint doesn't frustrate her, it excites her. It tells her you're confident, that you value the moment, that you're capable of controlling your energy instead of letting impulsive urges dictate your actions. This is the invisible architecture of attraction, the blueprint most men never learn. And don't mistake silence for awkwardness. Silence is a tool. It allows her to feel your presence fully. It lets her imagination fill in the gaps, and her brain associates those gaps with you, with desire, with anticipation. When you learn to use silence, to control pacing, and to radiate calm intensity, She will feel you not just with her body, but with her mind. That's how you create a connection that lingers long after the moment passes. Most men think intimacy is a performance. They believe it's about being loud, aggressive, or showing how manly they are. But real power is subtle. Real power is invisible. She doesn't need you to perform. She needs you to be present, to make her feel seen, desired, and safe all at once. That energy is magnetic, unforgettable, and completely under your control if you know the steps. Most men underestimate the power of touch before intimacy. And I don't mean rushing in and grabbing her hands or hugging her half-heartedly. I mean deliberate, intentional touch. The kind that communicates desire, confidence, and emotional connection without saying a single word. A light touch on her arm as you laugh, your hand brushing against hers with perfect timing. A gentle hold on her back as you guide her through a doorway. These are tiny moments, but they build an invisible thread between you. She feels it immediately, even if she can't put it into words. That thread? It's anticipation, longing, and trust all intertwined. Here's what most men don't realize. When you touch her slowly, purposefully, and with awareness, you're telling her a story. You're telling her that you see her, that you want her, and that your energy is fully focused on her. Every nerve in her body registers this. Her skin becomes a radar for your presence, and her mind starts to associate you with pleasure even before anything happens. That's why timing and intention are critical. A rushed or distracted touch does the opposite. It breaks the tension, kills desire, and makes her feel like she's just another person in the room. Psychology backs this up. Anticipation and suspense increase emotional intensity. Your goal isn't to get to the main event as fast as possible. It's to create a journey where she's craving your presence, your energy, and the next subtle connection. You become unforgettable because your presence builds a rhythm her mind can't ignore. She starts to notice the little things, the way you lean slightly closer when she speaks, the warmth in your gaze, the calm but confident energy in your movements. These moments are far more powerful than words or overt gestures. And here's the hidden truth. Her body responds to your energy before she even consciously realizes it. A slow touch, paired with a steady, focused presence, triggers neurological responses that heighten desire. Her heart rate increases slightly, her breath deepens, and every subtle movement you make resonates through her nervous system. This is why some men feel like they have magic with women. They've mastered this invisible communication. Most men never even notice it. Finally, understand this. This isn't manipulation, it's mastery. It's about aligning your energy, presence, and intention so she feels genuinely desired and safe at the same time. When you do this correctly, she won't just respond physically, she'll be captivated emotionally. You become a force she can't resist, not because of anything you say, but because of the way she feels in your presence. That's the level we're talking about. That's the power of being fully present and intentional before intimacy. There's a truth most men never grasp. Your words before intimacy are far more powerful than any physical touch. But it's not about clever lines, pick-up tactics, or rehearsed compliments. It's about subtle verbal energy. The way your tone, timing, and choice of words create an invisible tension that pulls her closer to you emotionally and mentally. Every word you say before intimacy either builds anticipation or destroys it. And most men destroy it without even realizing. Pay attention to how you speak. Your voice should carry calm authority, confidence, and a hint of warmth. Not arrogance, not desperation, not humor that masks insecurity, but a steady tone that makes her feel safe, seen, and desired all at once. Even casual conversation can become a tool of connection if you understand the psychology behind it. A playful tease, a reflective observation about her smile, or a softly delivered question that invites her to open up. These are sparks that ignite her subconscious desire. She feels them before she even recognizes why she's drawn to you. Eye contact is equally critical. Not the fleeting glance that most men offer, but intentional, sustained eye contact that communicates interest without pressure. Look at her like she's the only person in the room. Let your eyes linger just enough to create tension, just enough to make her heart rate subtly rise. When paired with the right words, your gaze becomes electric. She's not just listening to you, she's feeling you through your presence, your focus, your unwavering attention. That's how desire deepens. Another secret. Pacing your verbal interactions matters as much as your physical movements. Speak slowly. Let moments of silence hang naturally. Those pauses aren't awkward, they're opportunities for her mind to catch up to the energy you're radiating. Women are wired to respond to emotional rhythm, and your ability to control it determines whether she leans in or disengages. A rushed, scattered energy communicates impatience and insecurity, while deliberate pacing communicates power, patience, and control. Finally, understand this. The combination of touch, verbal tone, eye contact, and controlled energy creates an invisible architecture of attraction. She may not consciously understand why she feels so drawn to you, but her body and mind are in perfect sync with your presence. By mastering these subtleties, you create an emotional tension that becomes almost unbearable, in the best way possible. She doesn't just want intimacy with you, she wants the connection, the presence, the energy that only you can provide. And once she feels it, everything else becomes secondary. Here's something almost no man ever realizes. The moments just before intimacy are more powerful than the act itself. The tension you create, the subtle signals you send, the invisible energy that hums between you, this is what she will remember, long after the night is over. And most men blow it entirely because they don't understand the psychology behind anticipation. Anticipation is not about teasing or games, it's about presence, awareness, and timing. It's about creating a space where desire can grow naturally, almost uncontrollably, without you having to say a word. Micro behaviors are everything. A gentle brush of your hand along hers, the slight tilt of your body as you lean closer, a soft exhale as you move into her space. These are signals she's subconsciously reading, registering, and responding to. Your energy becomes a language, one that bypasses logic and speaks directly to her nervous system. She feels it in her pulse, in the subtle warmth that spreads through her body, in the way her breath catches ever so slightly when you're near. The man who understands this doesn't need to rush, doesn't need to over-explain, doesn't need to perform. He simply exists with intention, and she can't resist. The truth is, desire is amplified by restraint. The longer you can maintain calm, focused presence, the more she becomes attuned to you. You're building a tension that's both thrilling and magnetic. She may try to test it, to see if you're impatient, but your composed energy is what draws her deeper. Women respond to men who can hold their energy without breaking it. That's what makes you unforgettable. That's what makes her crave your touch, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. Pay attention to timing. Don't rush. Let the moment stretch naturally. A pause before a touch. A slight delay before leaning in. A soft word whispered just as she's caught in your gaze. These are the moments that linger in her memory. They're the invisible markers of intimacy that most men ignore entirely. When done correctly, she will feel like she's on the edge of a peak, emotionally and physically, and it's your energy that carries her there. Finally, understand that this isn't manipulation, it's mastery of presence. She feels it, trusts it, and begins to associate you with something extraordinary. By controlling micro-behaviors, energy, and anticipation, you become more than just a man she's attracted to. You become a force of desire that she can't resist, a presence that lingers in her mind long before and after physical intimacy. That's the secret most men never discover, and it's what separates fleeting encounters from unforgettable connections. Now, let's bring it all together. The invisible art that transforms every moment before intimacy into an experience she will never forget. Everything we've discussed, the energy, the presence, the subtle touch, the pacing, the verbal tone, the anticipation. They all converge into a single magnetic force. When you master this, she doesn't just feel you physically, she feels you emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. You become unforgettable because you create a multi-layered connection that few men ever learn to build. Start by anchoring yourself in presence. Before any physical contact, make sure your mind is fully in the moment. Let go of distractions, expectations, and ego. Your energy will naturally radiate calm confidence, and she will feel it immediately. This is the foundation. Without it, nothing else you do will resonate the same way. Every glance, every movement, every word you choose carries weight. She senses whether you're fully engaged or half present, and her desire reacts accordingly. Then, layer in subtle, intentional touch. It doesn't need to be constant. It doesn't need to be obvious. A hand on her lower back as you guide her, a gentle brush of fingers while sharing a laugh, a soft touch to her arm during conversation. These small gestures communicate intent, attention, and attraction far more than words ever could. They create a thread of connection that hums beneath the surface, building anticipation without pressure. Combine that with controlled verbal cues and eye contact. Speak slowly, with warmth and confidence, and let your eyes linger with intention. Don't over-explain or force conversation. Instead, let silence and pauses accentuate your presence. Women respond to rhythm, to the pacing of energy, and to subtlety in communication. When you master this, her mind begins to mirror your energy, creating synchronization that feels almost electric. She senses you before you touch, before you speak, before anything happens. Finally, understand that anticipation is your ally. Don't rush. Allow the tension to build naturally. Each second you maintain calm, focused energy magnifies desire. She will lean in without realizing it, drawn to the invisible pull you've created. The intimacy that follows isn't just physical, it's profound, unforgettable, and transformative. She remembers how you made her feel far longer than anything else. So the next time you're about to be intimate, remember this: presence over performance, energy over haste, subtlety over overt action. Master the invisible signals, the anticipation, the micro-behaviors, and the intentional connection. And you won't just share a moment with her. You'll become an experience she craves again and again. That's the level men rarely reach, and now you know exactly how to get there.